First of all, Macharia mentioned earlier that our parliament has become like a marketplace. I was about telling him that market people can sue him. It's actually a madhouse. Because the people we are praising today, the Kibakis, the Anyonas, are working almost free of charge. Their pay was negligible, but they were doing a service to the nation. So I think we lost it when the country was taken over by cartels. It has become a country of entrepreneurs.
When did this happen?
It's been happening gradually.
Right.
I think in Moi's time, they used to loot, but they would leave the cash box. Okay. Kibaki came in and settled things. We almost went back to normal. Apart from the Anglo-Leasing, he almost cleared the cartels. Now, when these two young cowboys came in, the cartels re-emerged with more vigor, more vicious. Now they even steal the cash box. They loot everything, so there's even nothing. So if you go to the animal kingdom, when the lion kills, it eats and then walks away unsatisfied. Then allows the hyenas to feast, and then the vultures.
Feeds an ecosystem.
Yes.
Yes.
But these guys eat everything, including the bones, by themselves. So when the cartels took over the country, and took over the counties, I don't know how we're going to recover, because they are very vicious, they are very powerful, they are very influential. I mean, short for an act of God. I'm not saying how humanly possible we're going to remove them.
Right.
So we still have young people, brilliant young people in their 20s, who can run this country if they're given a chance. But do the cartels allow them? That's the question.
The cartels will not allow them, of course. Yeah. But here's the question, and it keeps on, emerging and re-emerging as we go through that. This loss of public service, if you like, of the loss of integrity in everything, it's part of a Kenyan culture. There's this sort of thing that we are agreeing that this is us. We've sort of been browbeaten to agree that we can't go past this. This is the best you're going to have. Your MCA would possibly have 10, 15 cases, and it's fine. He would be accused of corruption, etc. But he's not fully, gone through the system in court, so that, and up until the time the Supreme Court says, well, this man has been prosecuted and, we agree he's a criminal. That's the only time he cannot run for elections. And the electorate agree. And in election season, election period, doesn't it strike you odd that corruption and the issues of integrity are not part? They're not on the ballot. It's not anything that we discuss every day. Anyone and everyone can show up, in spite and despite of infractions we know of who they are in public.
I think, like they're saying, I don't know where the rain started beating us. And one thing you will hear everybody saying out here, and even me, that I noted, because I've been in the Moi generation. I was in the Kenyatta generation at a younger age, the Moi generation, full-blown, when I was teenager plus a young adult. The issue of handouts died off during the era of the late president, completely. And we survived, really. But we backtracked. I don't know. I wished we had moved forward without those handouts, with that culture of, because young people, you can't get them to do anything. People always ask, what is in for me? That mentality of doing work or service is not there anymore. People feel that for them to carry out a duty or to do something, there must be something in return. So really, it will be a hard task for us to retract and really work on that culture of thinking that you must be given something to do something. And the late president, who we are mourning, really made strides and gains on that, to cut off that culture of handouts and all that. So we really have a lot of work to do, and bring up a youth that will know that they can offer services, they can do work, without necessarily getting anything back.
It is very easy for us to blame poor leadership.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it is our fault as Kenyans. These fellows don't shoot their way into power. We elect them. We will consciously elect a thief, a person we know is a thief, and then start complaining that he's stealing. If you expect a thief, if you elect a thief, his first order of business will be to steal even more. Then it is our fault. Why do we vote these people in? Look at the main political formations today. We have Raila Odinga's Azimio William Ruto's
Kenya Kwanza.
Kenya Kwanza, or Hustler Nation, whatever. None of them have any defining ideology, principles, or programs. In fact, there is nothing to differentiate between the two other than meaningless slogans. When we look at who is in those lineups, I think we should even lose hope, because it is just both sides are just a confederation of thieves and looters. True. And yet here we are going shouting Hustler Nation or Azimio or whatever, without seeing what does this formation bring that will make Kenya a better place. Nothing. Right. We will look at my tribe, when you find Sonko being nominated to be for governor of Mombasa, surely you wonder, this person who nominated him, does he even think what image that portends of himself and his own party? And this is a person who is very loudly saying that he wants to be deputy president and president after 5 years, surely.
All right.
You're smart. I think I have an inkling why the rain began beating us. For many years, I was privileged to be part of a team under William Mutunga that was fighting against impunity. The Kenya Human Rights Commission launched a campaign against impunity. Now, when Kibaki came to power, he pulled into the administration some of the strongest members of the civil society. And it dramatically weakened the civil society. So that extra voice of fighting for the voiceless died. But as Macharia says, you see, we have chapter 6 of integrity, that's integrity and honesty, but who cares about it? Because of impunity, no one is focused on that chapter. So probably we might have to start with the education system. We might have to go back to the kindergarten, start teaching our children there's something called integrity, something called honesty and humility, and hope that in the next 50 years when we are gone, the country will have recovered.
The problem is sometimes we leave that task to churches. And you can see our churches.